Hello everyone and welcome back to E2E. Today we're starting off in the creative world again. That is because we are designing the forestry building. Now it's very bare bones at the moment because I wanted to do some designing on camera this time because the last few times I've kind of just built the thing, most of the way. Yeah, pay no attention to what's going on over there. I was doing some testing for something in the future. Okay, anyways, so this is the kind of layout we got so far. Basically the premise is we're going to have some forestry farms here that are kind of sunk underground because the max size farm is right here. I built it just to test it out. It's basically copied that up to here. I put some purple in there to mark it out because this hummus actually gets auto-filled. So when we copy paste this over, we can just like chop out the hummus and we have marking blocks to put exactly where the blocks need to go. So we got two farms here. They're both going to be growing trees because I did look into all of the farms for forestry, and the only one that's actually worth doing at this stage of the game that I'm in is a wood farm, because all of the other farms are completely outclassed by this point. There's almost nothing that I can grow on a forestry farm that I can't grow in a garden cloche minus wood. So we're just going to make a wood farm here, and that kind of makes sense because then we can kind of make this building into a lumber mill. So the premise of this building is going to be it's a grassy area. I'm also using loamy grass just because it's a little darker than the grass around the area here. It'll make sure that it doesn't kind of blend in with the surroundings. It kind of stands out a little bit. And we're going to add a fence around the outside. Maybe we'll cut it off here. We'll have the kind of a log cabin in this area, which is like the quote-unquote shop. You go in here, you can buy your wood or whatever. And then in the rest of the yard, we're going to have piles of logs everywhere, tie them down with log ties, blah, blah, blah. We have like stacks of planks over here. And then maybe over here we can have a small like sawmill factory. And then this is kind of like the visuals of where you would cut the wood. Where the actual processing is going to be happening is underground because the forestry machines are going to be going underground. So there's going to be 5 blocks of space down here that we can work with. So we can then ship all of the stuff over underground, actually get it processed, and then we could maybe pipe it up into the log cabin, and then that's actually where the output would be. I think that'd be a pretty cool idea. So why don't we go ahead and do that? Let's get the fence built up and then also start getting some of the decorations in place. Alrighty, got the fence in place. Now I went with the frameless bars because they don't have the frames on the outside. That's kind of convenient. Still got a little bit of frames right here, but that's just, I think, because of the fencing. It's a little detail that you can overlook. And I also went with some like frameless toppers. They kind of look like spikes at the top here, so it is kind of nice. I was gonna go for barbed wire, but we don't really have barbed wire. I mean, we do. There are like barbed wire iron bars. They don't really look that good. They don't blend in with the rest of it. If I built the whole thing out of iron bars, maybe, but I don't think it really looks that good. So we're going to go with the frame toppers here. All right, so that's the fence done. And yes, I did check. Trees will grow here. There is no problem. Yeah, I guess I should probably say what kind of trees I'm going to be growing. I'm going to be growing oak trees just because, oak wood, it's pretty standard. You can use it everywhere. And apples as well. Would like to be able to get apples because they do have quite a bit of uses, I believe. Of course, you can make golden apples. You can make whatever that is. You can use it in all the food recipes. Make notch apples if you want. There's a few other things. I could make more dev nulls to prank people. Emerald apple to reset trades. Oh, I need to make this. Apple of lofty stature increases your step height. Yeah, I need that. Jeez. And of course you can also make all the way up to supremium, maybe insanium apples. Yeah, there's basically just a lot of things you can do with apples. So next up, let's get the log cabin in as like the building. It's gonna go right here, and I was going to use I swear there was like a log pile. What was it called? Wood pile. These decorative wood piles, you can place them like pillars, and they have a little bit of texture to them. You can kind of see it right there. So it actually will look like a log cabin. So I'm gonna use these to make the log cabin. Hopefully it should look really good. I'm gonna try to make it look like a kind of worn down, but also, it's stood the test of time type of thing. So that's what we're going for right here. I'm going to get that built, and then we'll also build up some wood piles and then the sawmill shed. So I'll cut back to when I have the log cabin looking good. All right, after multiple redesigns, 3 failed attempts, and a very janky roof, we have the log cabin. Now, not my finest work, but I don't know. It looks kind of nice. It's very homely. It looks kind of like you just mishmashed a bunch of stuff together and then it held up. And that's kind of what I was going for, to be honest. So we're using, oak wood stairs. We're using, this has to be normal logs, But these are the wood piles. The wood piles, they kind of have a tendency to miss the corners here, as you can see. So you can kind of see through blocks sometimes, so I had to supplement some normal oak logs into here. But other than that, it looks nice. We got a bunch of these iron lanterns. Since this is 1.12, we can't use the Minecraft ones. I kind of just threw these everywhere, to be honest, but it kind of looks nice like that. So anyway, this is the outside. We're using the Japanese 2 chiseled glass panes. They kind of look like they have a wood finish. It kind of fits with the building. And if we go inside, we got a basic little shop here. You know, I think I might actually knock out one of these like sitting areas. Either that, or I just have the outputs be over here somewhere instead, maybe in a little shed. Why don't I just do that? Because I kind of like the inside of this. Next up, we need to get the log piles everywhere, the nice sawmill area, and then the output area. And since I've just been kind of cutting in between everything, why don't we take this time to just time-lapse the build process? So this could either be a very short time-lapse or a very long time-lapse, depending on how confused I get about what I'm trying to build. Alrighty, I'd say that's looking pretty good. Got the whole little sawing area here. I just went with these architecture saw bench because it's the only thing that actually has a saw blade sticking out of it. And we got, you know, log piles everywhere, piles of different types of wood. We got some crates, you know, scaffolding, that stuff. Got some piles of logs tied down with some ties, various other stuff. I think it's looking pretty good. Now, we are missing some space over here. I might just throw in some crates or something over there. I don't really know. I'd say this is pretty good. So the only thing we need to do now to get this ready to copy over is break all of this, because the hummus gets filled in automatically when the farms are in. I'm going to leave those markers in there just because they're convenient. And let's just get this copied over. Select 50 tile entities not copied. That's got me a bit worried. So what is it? No way. The nickel slabs are tile entities. That's so weird. Okay, well, whatever. Press save. That copies to the clipboard. And then all we have to do is go to the server, put down a piece of paper, and then hit load. Nice. All right, well, we're on the server. Yeah, pay no attention to what's going on right now. Okay, anyways, there's a couple things I'd like to point out before we get started on the building. First one is, I think after we build the forestry building, we're going to go back in, we're going to figure out roads, and we're going to build some roads. That shouldn't take too long. And another thing, I got a quantum suit body armor from a skeleton today, and I believe these are better than the nano suit. So why don't we go ahead and check that real quick.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, that instantly just powered it. Okay, so we are at 19 armor bars right now. If we put this on, it goes up. Yeah, so we should try to get a full suit of quantum suit armor as well. Okay, so now with that issue resolved, why don't we go ahead and take a look at the recipe list. I've got it all transferred over here. I have no idea why it says I need 2 giant sequoia wood slabs. I have no idea where those are. So I'm just going to go make those, and then we will see where they end up, probably. Okay, anyway, so here's the list. It's not too bad. Basically just a bunch of stuff. The loamy grass is going to be the most annoying. Nickel sheet metal is going to be easy because of the excavator. Bunch of chiseled wood types, purple concrete marker blocks, some stone pillars, zebra wood. The thing about zebra wood is it looks really nice, and I also happen to have the saplings for it right here. So we will be good to go. Another thing that I need to point out is this americium RTG is no longer enough to keep my ME system powered. So I've had to move the ethylene compact machine from the ore processor over here until we can get that sorted out. Alrighty, fellas, we got basically everything. Don't know what this giant sequoia wood slabs are, and I'm going to have to go back in to the creative world to figure some things out because I accidentally built with fireproof zebra wood fence, so I'm going to have to swap those all out with the regular ones. And also, zebra wood slab, 0 of 12, zebra wood slab. I have 18 of them. Why does that not count? I don't know. So we're going to have to go into the creative world, figure out why this is all working, fix some issues, and then we should be good to get this built. Since I'm going back to the creative world anyway, let's go design the roads and then maybe build the roads around the mechanism and the immersive engineering factory, so then I can place the forestry factory in the right place. Alrighty, we are back in the creative testing world. I think I got everything fixed over there, and here are the roads. These are the two designs I've been thinking about. I think I'm just gonna go with this one here. The 7 wide instead of the 5 wide. The 5 wide looks nice, but it's more like, it's kind of small, you know, doesn't really fit. So I think we're going to go with the 7 wide, and then we can use the 5 wide as like side roads or something. But these will be the main roads. I think it's pretty good. Basically, it's made out of yellow concrete and then trodden brick chiseled gray concrete, which also gives the running speed boost. So that will be very nice. We can run fast on the roads if we need to walk by foot. Although most of the time we are still flying with the angel ring, at least the roads would be functional. Alright, let's go get some roads built and let's get this factory placed. Alrighty-o, I have cleared out some space to build the road. There's these trees in the way. By the way, I figured out what this was finally. So in here, there's like a nature core, and I didn't know what this did, but I looked it up, and basically what it does is every time it gets random ticked, there's a chance for it to grow some stuff. It's been growing trees, it's been growing flowers, it's been spawning mobs, and it's also been repairing itself. So, I don't know, we might move that later, but for now we're just going to leave it there. We're just going to chop out some of the trees that I need to move. So why don't we go ahead and get this road placed down along here. It's road mode, and we ran out of gray concrete. That's pretty typical. I feel like we're going to need to make a factory specifically for concrete and maybe make like an auto chiseler. I don't even know if that's a thing. I'll look into it. Road's coming along nicely. As you can see, I also have been filling in like the bottom area with cobblestone just because cobblestone is easy to get and it's very plentiful. So we're just going to continue doing that. I also need to figure out a way to make this not all on the same level, because right now all of the buildings are on Y69, or I guess they're on 68 because it's technically where you're standing. So they're all on Y68. And over here at the base, it is Y72. So we've got 3 blocks to work with. We need to slowly gradient 3 blocks until we get up to there. Maybe we'll keep the factory area at Y69 for most of it, and then we'll slowly, gradually move up there as we build more buildings. I could also do a huge terraforming thing at some point, but like, that seems like a lot of work. So maybe let's build a couple more buildings before I decide to do that. So anyways, I'll go grab some more concrete here. I guess I could also start putting in the striped lines, huh? So basically the intersection here, we want to go, let's just start at 1. So it was 4 and then 3. Alrighty, yep, there we go. Got some of the stripes in there. I'll go get the other parts striped up as well, and we'll go finish off this road. Alrighty, we got more of the road built. All of it's filled in. I also built a little bit more over here just so we could line it up properly. I have everything loaded up into my copy paste gadget, as you can see. Basically, we're putting it right here. So we need to figure out a place and place it exactly where it needs to be. Now I've been leaving 3 to 4 blocks in between the buildings here just so we could eventually add sidewalks maybe. Not really sure if we're going to end up doing that. We probably will. So why don't we just like do this and then we hit the anchor button and then we can look exactly where this is going, make sure everything's out of the way. Yep, we got a lot of stuff in the way at the moment, so we need to clear that all out. But I think this is a good place for it. We could also maybe get the door here. Let me see if I can mirror this. Okay, so this is it with mirrored on. Do I like this better? You know, I think I do like mirrored better. Okay, let's go with mirrored. I'm going to leave this here and I'm going to get the rest of the area cleared out and then we can just right click to place it because we have everything we need minus the slabs. I don't know why they're not counting, but I have them in there. I know where they go. I think we'll be fine. Okay, let's get this area cleared out. and boom. Okay, that's a lot of cobblestone. I just completely filled in that area, completely dense with cobblestone, didn't leave any untouched blocks. The reason I've been doing that is because I don't want mobs spawning, and yes, I know I could just put torches underground, but it makes it feel more like a city if you're building foundations under the buildings. This has absolutely no purpose other than preventing mobs from spawning and making it a lot harder to dig basements. But here we are doing it anyway. Alright, I think we are just about ready to place this. What on earth just happened there? Now, I've also dug this kind of area here. Now, you all are probably wondering what that is. That is where the actual farms are going to go, because under here we actually have to build the forestry farms. And then I've also dug out a little tunnel over here, which will lead right up to the workshop, which is, I think, the general area that I'm going to be placing the outputs of these farms. I'm going to have all the machines underground here. Probably going to have to set up another mechanism ethylene power setup, or I could just run a power cable from the battery over there. That could also work. But I think I'm just going to go with another ethylene setup just to keep things modular. Okay, hello.
I bring gift from the nine.
You bring gift? 0.32 wild berry wine. Nice.
Chug it.
I'm not going to chug. I'm just about to place a building. I'm not going to place it while I'm nauseated. Forestry building. In 3, 2, 1. Boom. There we go. Looking good. That wasn't nearly as laggy as the other ones.
Hey, I looked at these spikes earlier today.
Yeah, kind of nice. Alright, so now we need to gather a bunch of nickel sheet metal and 3 pieces of iron sheet metal slabs, and then I can finish this entire thing off. Alrighty, I have got all of the blocks over there done and dusted. Now we just need to make the actual forestry farms, and of course we're also going to make the infrastructure for those, but let's just get the farms placed first. So we need 2 gearboxes, 2 hatches, 2 valves, 2 controls, and then 96 blocks each side, so it's 2, 2, 2, 2, 192, also known as 200 farm blocks plus the additional resources to craft these suckers. So we need 400 copper, 200 stone bricks, 400 slabs, and 200 tin electron tubes. Now the tin electron tubes are going to be the hardest part because they are extremely annoying to make. And we can just grab extra redstone. Okay, then we head over here to our thermo-ionic fabricator. It's already queued up. We're going to need a bajillion, million, quadrillion glass in there, so I'm just going to grab a stack because it seems like that's the only thing I'm using glass for. I really need to get some dedicated setups to get gravel. I could totally do it and just put them into a storage drawer. I might end up doing that today because I'm also going to be, after we've got this whole forestry thing set up, we are going to get some additional gear. Like we're going to get quantum suit armor, we're going to get a laser gun. And I think I'm going to make a new suite of tools as well because, I mean, the pickaxe is great. I might keep the pickaxe, but we need a shovel that insta-mines, and this isn't doing it. So we're going to have to figure a way out to do that. But that should be enough sand. If not, I'll just come back and put some more in. Dump, dump, dump. Dump, 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 dump. 10 electron tubes, 400 slabs, 400 bits of copper, and 200 stone bricks. Boom, boom. Oh my god. Power just cut out on my... I need to figure out a way to fix that, because that's been happening every time I've tried to deposit things. It's getting annoying. So that should be 200. That is exactly 200. So now these 8 are what we can use to make the gearbox, the hatch, the valve, and of course the control, which we need gold electron tubes. Do we actually have any of those? We do. Perfect. Let's just make those 2 before I forget. All right, so now we just need to go make those gears and we should be good to go. And there we have it, folks. We have exactly what we need to build these farms. Why don't we just go over there and place those down right now. I'm also going to go ahead and set an Enderbook waypoint right here. So now we can warp over to the forestry building. Also installed an elevator right there, as you can see, so we can get in and out of here because eventually that's going to get sealed off completely. Okay, so this is exactly the center, which is where the central blocks are going to be. So what we can do, let's try to get this oriented in a nice way. So power's going to go in the back because that's where all the power cables are going to be running. That'd be easiest. I'm also only going to have 1 power source, so we need those to be as close as possible. The valve doesn't matter because we're just going to place an infinite water source on each one. The control, let's put that up in the front here. And then we've got the hatch. This is the items. So let's put the items. Actually, you know what? Why don't we put the items here and we can put the controls on the insides. Okay, and then we basically just fill the rest in. Boom. And there we have it. 5x5 by 4 forestry farm. So now the way that we actually get this running is we fill in this layer all the way over to here with stone bricks, and then we put dirt, water, power, and saplings in there, and then it'll just start growing trees. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and make another ethylene power setup. You see me do it like 3 times. I'm going to try to fit it in a 5x5 this time, though. We'll see how that works out. But I am going to give that a go, and then we'll put power into these, and maybe we can get this started. Alrighty, I have made the new power setup. I've also gathered basically everything that we need to start the actual farms, and I did manage to get it to fit in a 5x5. It's very cramped, but you could fit this in a 4x4. Unfortunately, though, there are only intervals of 2, starting at 1 for the compact machines. See, it goes 3x3, 5x5, 7x7. There is no 4x4, so 5x5 is about the smallest that we can fit it in. But hey, you know what? That's pretty good. I think I'm just going to put all of the resource production and the storage down here. Originally, I was going to have the storage pipe all the way over to here and then go up here. But since we're going to have to take stuff out of storage to then process it, I think it's just going to be easier to run everything down here, have all the storages down here, and then maybe we can run like apples or something up there. Something that isn't like used in any kind of production, you know. That should be filled up with power, sweet, and we can run one over here as well. Next up, we need water in the farm valves. I just made some normal infinite water sources. I think that should be perfectly fine. We've got power, we've got liquids. Now we have that's the control, and this is the hatch. So this is input and output. So why don't we go ahead and just place 4 stacks of saplings in each of these, and then 6 stacks of dirt. And is it placing? It is not. That's because there's no fertilizer. Why don't we go grab some real quick? These forestry machines do not take a lot of fertilizer at all. As I was saying, they don't really take a lot, and fertilizers included. Last time I looked over there, I think it was the end of last episode, I said that it took a stack or so fertilizer to get all of those logs. It actually took about 4 to get maybe 8 stacks of logs. So I'm thinking we just have a storage drawer somewhere over here. All right, there we go. Place it in the blocks. Very nice. Just got to wait a little bit to be sure that it is actually doing what it's supposed to be doing. Looks like it is. We can come back to that in a little bit just to make sure that I did not misplace anything. So that's all good. Let me go make a couple more farm hatches. Let's do 4 more. We'll have 1 for output, which will filter the output so we can only take out like apples and logs. And then we will take another output for saplings, which then we can feed back in. Whitelist. Match metadata. There is nothing. It is a sapling. There will be no metadata. Relax. Okay, so this should be perfectly fine. If I put the sapling in here, it should suck it right out and go in there. Yep, looks like it did. Okay, awesome. And now we basically just do the exact same setup. We need 2 more filters, and we do it over here. And I saw our first tree up there already, so it looks like we're going to be getting some output. Look at that. Bam, that should now work. Saplings should go in there. Once they overflow, it doesn't matter because they're going to get voided. Okay, there's the saplings done. Okay, so now we need to set up both of the wood production and storage area. Apples are done. Next up, we need to get the wood out of here. Now, wood is going to be a different story because 1 piece of wood, this side, is going to go into a precision sawmill from Mechanism. The reason I'm using the Mechanism one, it's the cheapest thing that I have that gives the best conversion ratio right now. We can go ahead and look here in JEI on how to make it. Crafting, as you can see, with 1 normal log gives you 1 to 2. This is a giant log from Twilight Forest. Pay no attention to that. Precision sawmill, if we can find the actual log here. Here it is. 1 oak log gives you 4 pieces of planks and a sawdust. You can use a thermal expansion sawmill and get 1 to 6, but unfortunately I don't think I can make this because this is from thermal, and thermal's a tier 3 tech mod, and this machine frame here, kinda expensive. You can also use a resin funnel from thermal, but that's thermal again. You can use a cutting machine from advanced rocketry, but yeah, I don't think I can do that. You can use a manufactory from nuclear craft, and that's 1 to 5. Maybe I should do that. I do have a manufactory. Up a block and then into there. So now all the apples should go out. Our manufactory here, we need to run... the cabling in here has gotten severely worse. Manufactory here, we can put this on insert. That should only be wood. And there we go. Apples and planks. Now another thing we need to do is we need to run more item cables all the way over to here, where we need to put this on extract, add our filter, blacklist the sapling. I'm going to grab some more of these cables here. Yeah, I made a whole bunch of extra cables because I knew we were going to run some long wires in here, and I'm almost out already. Okay, so now this is the where we need to cut off connection, because now the wood is currently being transported over to here, I believe. It's not on the right redstone control. So basically, wood is going to get sucked out and go into the manufactory, which is not what we want. We want this to only take wood from this one. So we need to just wrench that connection away, because now that won't happen. Now all the other wood will go into here. Theoretically. There we go. Okay, so we got logs, apples, and planks. All is good in the world. Oh, and another thing we need to do, we need to grab the rest of the machines, because we're going to move all the forestry machines into here. Thermoanic fabricator can go right there. Sand, you were in there, I believe. Let me just leave the rest of this stuff in here. Squeezer can go here. I am going to leave an infinite water source here just in case we need it, because I think one of these machines was using it. Carpenter and the centrifuge can go down. This other stuff we don't really need, but I'm just going to place it just because it looks nice. Okay, yeah, half the stuff I don't even know what it does, but we're just going to place it because it looks cool. And I guess the rainmaker... Yeah, sure, dude. You can go right there. Don't ask me how that works. Couldn't tell you, mate. So why don't we finish this episode off by making this place look nice, or at least nice enough to count as a factory building, and then we'll call it from there. We have now officially started filling up with saplings, and in that time we've managed to get 18 stacks of logs and 83 stacks of planks. This is a very efficient farm, and we will be using it for a very long time, because I believe wood is very important. Alright, okay, well, went to go record the outro, right, and then realized that this farm right here was not getting saplings, so we had to go and fix that. It looks like water is also being kind of a problem because of how big these trees are, so I'm going to get these swapped out for the compact water sources. That should hopefully fix that problem. I also realized that the apples weren't getting taken out of here, so I went ahead and fixed that as well. Hopefully that should be all of the issues resolved. Okay, good grief. I also went ahead and filled in the center here with humus. That should get filled in eventually once the machine decides that it has enough water to do so. But other than that, I'd say that is a finished forestry factory. Alright, with that being said, that's going to be it for this episode. Forestry building is officially done. Next episode, we're going to get a new suite of tools and armor. And then the episode after that, I think we're going to start getting into nuclear craft. Well, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to watch some trees grow. Goodbye.